Welcome to this learning video on fire safety at workplace by Power Sector Skill Council, produced in collaboration with SEMCA. In this video, we will learn about fire safety at workplace. What is fire? Fire is the visible effect of the combustion of inflammable things in the presence of air. Fires at workplaces are dangerous. Three things must be present at the same time to produce fire. They are 1. Some fuel or combustible material. 2. Enough heat to reach ignition temperature. And 3. Enough oxygen to sustain combustion. Together they produce a chemical reaction, which is fire. So how can we extinguish a fire? Take away any one of these three things and the fire will be extinguished. So the three techniques to extinguish fire are cooling, smothering and starvation. 1. In cooling technique, we remove heat source by pouring water. 2. In smothering, we cut off oxygen by using a fire extinguisher. 3. In starvation, we remove fuel from the fire. Let us learn about the types of fire and their extinguishing technique. Types of fire's classification is based on the fuel use. Followings are the class of fire and their extinguishing technique. Class A type fire involves wood, paper and cloth. This is extinguished by cooling with water. Class B type fire involves flammable liquids and liquefiable solids like petrol, diesel and oils. This is extinguished by foam, dry powder or carbon dioxide. Class C type fire involves gases and is extinguished by dry powder. Class D type fire involves metals and is extinguished by dry powder and carbon tetrachloride. Class E type fire involves live electrical fire and is extinguished by carbon dioxide, dry powder or carbon tetrachloride. When the power is switched off, the electrical fire falls in any one of the four classes of fire, namely A, B, C or D. For fire safety, we use safety equipment like alarms for smoke and carbon monoxide. Fire extinguishers, residential fire sprinkler systems. Let us learn more about the placement and maintenance of fire alarms. While placing a fire alarm, ensure that you can hear the alarm in every place in the house. The alarm should be loud enough to wake you up from sleep. Check the alarm once a month. Change the batteries if it goes bad. Now let us learn more about fire extinguishers. A fire extinguisher is an active fire protection device used to extinguish or control small fires, often in emergency situations. It is not intended for use on the out-of-control fire. If in a fire accident our clothes catch fire, then we can do following. Stop, drop, cover and roll. Smother the flames with a blanket and move away from the heat source. Remember, personal vigilance is the best way to avoid fires. Are you aware of the steps to use a fire extinguisher? Remember the PASS method. It is easy to remember how to use a fire extinguisher if you simply remember the acronym PASS. P. Pull. A. Aim. S. Squeeze. S. Sweep. P for pull the pin. This will allow you to squeeze the handle in order to discharge the extinguisher. A for aim at the base of the fire. If you aim at the flames, the extinguishing agent will fly and do no good. S for squeeze the handle. This will release the pressurized extinguishing agent. Another S for sweep side to side. Cover the entire area that is on fire. Continue until the fire is extinguished. Keep an eye on the fire. It may start again. Note, never fight a fire if you are not trained for firefighting, or you don't have the proper extinguisher or equipment, or fire has spread beyond its point of origin, or your instincts tell you to get out. To prevent spread of fire, remove the flammable material without putting yourself in danger. Now we will create fire and will see the step-by-step process for extinguishing. As we know, to create fire, we need oxygen, fuel and heat. It is open environment in which oxygen is available. As fuel, we are using cardboard and some diesel. For heat, we are using here lighter and matchbox. With the combination of all three, we will create here fire. As you are seeing technician creating fire with the combination of all three, after that we will see how we can extinguish it. This kind of fire comes in class A, type fire. Such type of fire we can extinguish with the help of water, foam, dry powder or carbon dioxide. As you are seeing, fire has been created. Now we will extinguish the fire with the help extinguisher. They are using here pass technique. First he pulled the pin, then aim the nozzle towards the fire base. After that, squeezing the handle and sweeping side by side for fire extinguishing. Now fire extinguishing work completed. Now let us learn about the evacuation procedures. Evacuation of the building is necessary in case of fire or alarm. However, it might be necessary in cases other than fire related too. Like in case of loss of power, leakage of gas or water mains, breakage, odors, etc. However, fire alarms is definitely one of the reasons to evacuate the building and must be taken very seriously. For a quick evacuation, you must know your building in advance. 1. Know the nearest exit. 2. Should have knowledge of at least 2 ways to get out of the building. 3. Know the sound of the evacuation alarm. During an extended evacuation, you may be instructed by emergency personnel to report to a designated place for short-term emergency evacuation. Members of the Critical Incident Response Committee, safety officers, public safety or a building coordinator will arrive at the center to act as communications liaison. When you either hear a fire alarm or are instructed to evacuate, remain calm, leave promptly using the nearest exit, alert other persons on your way out. Take keys and essential personal items. Lock doors behind you as you leave, that is office, department doors. Do not use elevators. Meet at the designated meeting location and account for your personnel. Now let us learn about the procedure to be followed to provide first aid for burn injuries. For all burns, apply cold, running tap water for at least 20 minutes. If running water is not available, wet 2 pieces of cloth and alternately apply them on the burn every 2 minutes. Keep the rest of the body warm. Do not use ice, butter, cream, etc. I hope you will remember these simple steps and stay safe always. Thank you for watching this video on fire safety.